Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Track by Track. We're here with Deen, Castronovo, and Doug Aldrich of the Dead Daisies to talk about their brand new album, Burn It Down. Thank you guys so much for joining us for Track by Track. I want to talk about the album as the process of the album, creating it. What was that like for you?
I forgot. No, it's really cool. We recorded here in Nashville with Marty Fredrickson at
Sienna Studios, right?
Well, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's Marty Fredrickson's place, and it's a great facility. So we all had written in New York, and then we recorded in Nashville, and we knocked the whole process out in about 6 weeks.
Wow.
We really focus, when we're together, we just really go for getting the job done and capturing the moment of the song. So it was really cool, and great to be in Nashville too.
Always, yeah.
Yes, Nashville's fantastic.
In this awesome studio. Come on. Beautiful.
All right, first track, Resurrected. Tell me about that song because I love the title.
Well, talking to John, we were asking him what was, I asked him what was this kind of about, and he said, well, he had written the lyrics a little bit about kind of his career and where he had gone and how he's coming back, and mine as well. We both kind of. We had major situations and we had to kind of start over and reinvent ourselves. And I think that's kind of what he was saying. It's like, resurrecting. We're back and we're tearing it up and we're not dead. So yeah, that's kind of what, am I right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's perfect for that, the way those lyrics are. And the music for that was actually originally in a different key. It was more of a slide tuning type of thing, slide guitar. And it was really cool, but we were kind of going for a little bit of a heavier sound on this record, and Marty or John, I'm not sure who it was, suggested, why don't we try it in a different key, which is always cool. So we found a little bit heavier key and made it a little more driving, and it turned out great. Obviously everyone was really excited about it. That's why it was the lead-off track of the record.
Next track, Rise Up. I love that as well.
Rise Up. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we had all kind of started focusing on a little bit heavier thing, and we were in the studio, and I just was messing around. Actually, we had started with a song that Marco had written. I'll tell you later about it, or we'll tell you. But then once we decided we were going to move in that direction, I started playing this, just a very, very simple riff, and management said, I really like that, that's cool. And we all, when we write, we're all together and we collaborate together. And with this band, it's nice because everyone's invested in every song. It doesn't mean that every song is going to make the record, but we all put our best into it. And it's not like anybody would on this record, and nobody brought like a complete song, because that's no fun. Right. It's more fun to go, here, check this out. You take it and you run with it, and then you pass it off to him. And that's what we do. Rise Up just was, it turned into being a real kind of an anthem type thing that actually some sporting teams are using. The Yankees use it, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but
he said it, so it's okay.
Yeah, and the Philadelphia Eagles are using it, and the Titans have used it, and so there's and then some other NASCAR has used it, which is great. So it's been cool, but that's kind of like the centerpiece track, I think, and that was the first single they kind of popped out, right?
Yeah, that was, yeah, and just the song itself, just the whole vibe of it and the energy of it. I mean, for me as a drummer, once I heard it, I was like, oh, I know exactly where to go with this. It was kind of a cool thing, It's just like I knew where to dig in, and it's one of my favorites actually on the record.
It's heavy, but it's like a '70s heavy kind of thing.
we're at the title track, Burn It Up.
Burn it down.
Burn it down. God damn.
That's awesome.
Let's keep it. That's awesome.
Oh,
that's something you gotta keep.
All right. You guys at home, you all know me. All
Yeah,
right.
you know how she is.
Let's talk about Burn It Down.
Well, you know, to me, Burn It Down. Well, Doug, why don't you explain it?
Oh, that's not fair. That's my bit.
That is his bit. I'll explain. Burn It Down. I mean, when I first heard that track, I mean, it's got a little bit of a time signature thing in it, and my memory of it, I remember Marty had put a drum beat on it, a little, electronic drum beat, and he was like, "Man, it just doesn't feel right. What do you got? What do you hear?" And so I took it home, all of these tracks, and that one was something that I really wanted to make it not feel so jerky, like a time signature type thing, and I knew where to put it. It just this part came in, and I thought, oh, that flows really nice, and it's not like, So for me, it was great. I love that. That's the first 3 songs on that record are my favorite by far. I mean, there's just something about those 3 that just come out and just, so it's pretty cool.
That song, that was John's riff, and he was just, John's a great guitar player too, aside from being a great singer. And he loves to play guitar, and he loves to come up with, extra parts too. Like we'll have a song idea, and he'll go, hey, what if you did something, kind of like this? I can't really play it the way I'm hearing it, but if he gives the idea. And that song, he threw it down on the demo, the riff, and then we just built the song after that. Nice. And it's cool because it's got the out of time thing, but then the verse is like dead simple, straight, boom, 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 bam, boom, 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 and it has a little flavor of AC/DC. It has a little flavor of kind of Audio Slave as well. It's kind of weird, but Burn It Down. I really, to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what the lyrics mean, but to me they mean to burn down the walls that hold you back from being, Overall, everything on the record, I feel like has a real positive vibe from John. Yeah. And so that's how I think of it. For me, I feel like something's in my way and I want to get to the other side, I'm gonna burn it that F down.
Boom.
That just happened.
And that just happened, people.
Track 4, Judgment Day. Oh, okay.
That's a Doug song.
I
love that too.
No, actually, that is that's something that Marty Fredrickson really was. Marty is great with if a song's kind of stuck, he's really great at trying to maybe try some edits and rearrange it, and he came up with the arrangement for that. Once we had a basic song put down, he changed the arrangement, chopped it up, and then we reapproached some of the sections, and it turned into really like a really cool kind of arpeggiated guitar part, and then it's got the heavy chorus, and it was John played an electric guitar, I played an acoustic guitar. And we recorded that part together. I remember that was really cool to record together with him instead of. And by the way, all the songs, we cut the basics together with Deen. We would have the idea on a demo that we had just kind of thrown down. Whoever had the guitar in their hands, they'd play the part, and it was drum machine. Then we'd go in the studio. Once we got to Nashville, we went in the studio, set up, and then we could kind of jam through stuff. And once we got the vibe and we felt like we got the way the song is meant to go, we'd just cut it. And that's what you're hearing. Wow. It's Deen on first or second take, and then we might make an adjustment, and then we'd nail it on first take with a new thing. And that included majority of guitars and bass, and then we would overdub solos and vocals later. But that's how we capture the vibe on it.
My favorite part of that song is the beginning. It's very swampy. It's got that, I don't know, that Louisiana guitar-y thing. It's just so cool.
I think Marty brought in his friend from the band. I'm forgetting Mary.
Steven Tyler's Mother Mary, right?
No,
not that one.
It's Mary. But anyway, this. Yeah. It's the girl in the singers and guitar. She's a multi-instrumentalist, and she played harmonica on the intro, and it really set the tone for that song. And that's actually, that's that might be my favorite track on the record, to be honest. I really love the vibe of that track.
And I miss playing it live. I got to say, we had it in the set for a little while, and we took it out, and there's just something about that tune when after that acoustic thing goes away, and then it's just you know.
It's sinister.
Yes, arr, arr, arr.
All right, next track, What Goes Around.
Well, I'll start it. You
I'm like,
finish
let's
it.
go. Let's go.
When we were in New York writing, we were writing at a really cool studio that was owned by Alicia Keys, where she would work, and it was a great vibe in there. And we, like I said, we just hunkered down and write, but we were still kind of figuring out the direction where we wanted to go. And this is at the beginning of the process. We had probably like 8 or 9 things that we were kind of banging around. And then the engineer, and I forgot his name, but he said to Marco, "Hey, have you ever tried this fuzz box by it's a fuzz box."
Sorry,
because we've been on the road and we're
crispy.
We're a little crispy, a little toasty.
A little
But
crispy.
it was a fuzz box, and he said, "Marco, this is going to change your life on bass." And Marco was, "Okay, cool," and didn't think anything of it. The next day, the guy brought this fuzz box in. ZFX. It's a ZFX fuzz box. It was the fat fuzz, factory fuzz or factory fat fuzz. So Marco plugged into it, and all of a sudden, bass is going crazy. He's trying to tame it, you know.
Yeah.
And it goes, and so it was like, whoa, that's cool, man. So Marco was like, I don't even know what I did, and we kind of steered him back into the main riff, what it is, and that's how it started. From that, he plugged in that fuzz tone, and the thing just went crazy.
With all those sounds, if you listen to it, all that is from that fuzz box. It wasn't like something we picked up off the radio. Literally, that thing was going. It's like, oh, we got to keep that. We got to keep that.
I think it's in Spanish, actually, and because Marco's Latino,
that worked
it
out
was
great.
Perfect. So he plugs it in, or he stopped playing, and this fuzz box has so many frequency things going on, and it started picking up this radio station. And it was being recorded into Pro Tools, and that was how the song starts on the record too. We kept it, as Deen said. But that song is just cool, man. It's heavy, it's simple. We learned on the last record, Make Some Noise, that some of the most simplest riffs are the most effective live, especially with you got a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted some simple riffs like that. And Deen just, the weight comes from his foot. And it just nails it. It's awesome. And you kind of hold that snare back too, don't you?
Yeah, that little trick that I learned back when I was in Journey and stuff is when you're playing to just kind of pull the snare back a little bit. So you got a click track going, but you just pull it back a little bit. It just makes it so fat. It just makes it huge. And one other thing I wanted to say too is, while these guys were doing the writing, I came in. I joined the band on the tail end of their writing. So I flew in, and there it was. They had the songs going, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this? So that's why I'm always going, Doug, because Doug was in there, and I was there like 2 days, I think, and then we were recording.
But the most important process is when we were together with you recording the actual song, because everything changed anyways.
Yeah.
But as far as the lyrics go, what would you say? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah.
Pretty much is. I mean, that just the music itself. I mean, it's know where it's going. It's just
the lyrics though. Is like it's.
Well, what do you think about the lyrics?
I think I think it's about a person that walks in circles.
What comes around goes around.
Is that? I've never heard that phrase before. What goes around comes around.
Really? Oh, come on.
I think a guy keeps walking in a circle. And he keeps rounding the same path and decides, you know what? I'm gonna have to get off this path. I don't want to come around anymore.
It's a good point.
Could that be it?
It might be it, bro. I think he's right.
It could be.
He knows a lot. He's Doug Aldrich.
I don't know that much. They know that. They know.
I'm excited to say this next one. You guys covered "Bitch" by Rolling Stones.
What did you just say?
I know. I said that on camera. Did you hear me?
Happen? Get that.
Okay.
Beep. Did we get the beep? No.
So, what inspired you to cover this particular song?
Well, I think the band, they like to do covers, and the band itself, everybody in this band we're rock and roll fans. I mean, we're fans like you guys are. We listen to everything, and we grew up with certain bands, and I think for this record, that song was like kind of like a no-brainer. We knew, it was like as soon as we heard it, and they, of course, Doug and those guys are doing their guitar riffs, and I remember Marty telling me, you know what? Oh, I hear a Nirvana type drum beat on this. I hear this vibe, and he said, can you do that? I was like, yeah, of course. So, I mean, just the way that we put every cover song that we do together, it's always got the Dead Daisies signature, whatever that is. It's got that whatever guitar riff. Everybody puts their stamp on it. That one was huge. Yeah.
We basically, like in the industry, like to call it, we daisify it.
Daisify.
No, but you know what? That as far as John, it really comes down to what the singer is going to shine on, because, he's the one that's got to deliver the most important part. And we had a few other songs that we were experimenting with, and Bitch is not the most go-to track for the Stones, but that riff is killer, and it's almost like it's a very simple pentatonic type, like Smoke on the Water type of riff, or like Fool for Your Lovin' by Whitesnake. It's very much like that. So we just pumped it up. It's a great riff, and the lyric is cool. And
it fit the record. I mean, really did with everything else that was going on. That one was like, oh yeah, that'll go right there. That's our vibe. So.
It's too late to say I'm sorry.
Okay, next track is Set Me Free. Tell me about it.
That song was co-written. I mean, am I right? Was Marty? Did he have a lot of influence on that, as far as like lyrically and stuff? Or?
He did, yeah. It started. We generally start off with the music, and Marco was playing piano, and he had these chords, and it was like, that's cool. And then of course we adapted it onto acoustic guitar, and one thing we wanted to do with this record was kind of bring the sounds back to more of a 70s vibe and stuff, so once the song was written, and Marty he really spent a lot of time on the melody with John, and those two guys banged it around, and then we ended up making some changes on the chords because it was reminiscent of something else, I forget, but we wanted to get away from that. So Marty made a substitution on the chords in the verse, and then we just, when we were cutting it, we decided, let's do something different. So we took a Leslie and ran a guitar through the Leslie cabinet, and it's got a really unique sound. That's on Burn It Down too. I forgot to mention that the main guitar part is through a Leslie. And so it's got this really rich, authentic kind of thing to it. The Leslie, for those people that don't know, it's the organ cabinet, and the top, the top speaker, the horn spins, and then the bottom one is like the lows. So you put a mic on the bottom one, and you put two mics on the top. So as it spins, you can pan those wide, and it goes like this. It's really cool for guitar. One of the most famous guitar things was Love Hurts from Nazareth. They'd used it, and also Badge. Eric Clapton played this part in Badge, the song Badge by Cream. Or no, it was George Harrison played it. And it's through a Leslie cabinet, so we did that. Anyway, sorry we talked so long about it.
No, it's all good.
And I gotta say too, the middle part of that, when Doug's doing his solo, when I first heard that, it was very reminiscent of Hendrix. And so I was thinking, okay, Mitch Mitchell, and doing some of the Mitch Mitchell type drum licks, and he just the tone of his guitar and the way that he was playing it just very much reminded me of early Hendrix. It was bad. I love that tune.
Yeah, I love that too. That section is really cool. Yeah. That's something that Dead Daisies, I think David Lowy wanted to do that. He's like, I love it when a song's a ballad, but then it gets heavy in the middle, and then comes back down. So that's why we come up with that middle part, was because David said he wanted that, Because a lot of times you do a ballad and you just stay in that mode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just have to say before we continue, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and being so much fun. The fans, I know, love you.
It's fun for us to be here.
We love you. We love the fans.
Yeah, that's something that the Dead Daisies, right? That we want to bring. We're trying to build this thing from ground zero. We've got the help of some dear friends and you guys, and we're trying to just go one person at a time, meeting more people and turn them onto the band, and we're willing to. We're working really hard, but it's paying off. We're seeing results, which is great.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the next track, Dead and Gone.
Awesome.
I love the title. I think it's a fabulous title. In fact, all of them on this album are very, very fun, and they tell a story themselves if you just were to go by titles. And you probably make up your, like I did. I made up my own concept of what this album was. But hearing it from you guys is really interesting. So tell me about this next track.
Well, I think Burn It Down, John's concept of it was...
Dead and Gone.
Dead and Gone. What was it? Burn it Down, Gone, Dead.
Okay.
That one. Okay.
We're even now.
Yeah. I screwed up. She screwed up. Now it's Doug's turn. Doug, what do you say about this song? Because I'm just going to shut up.
No, that was we liked that groove that it had. And to be honest, originally I was inspired by a Bad Company song, but with that groove. So we were just looking for.
The Rocksteady? Was
yeah.
it Rocksteady? Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Great.
I kind of was like, I love that groove. So then we kind of built the chords around it, and the lyrics. You were involved in the lyrics or not?
Yeah, we were all kind of in a room writing the lyrics. You know, there was like 4 of us. Doug, I think you were doing guitar parts at that point. I think. Right?
Yeah, they don't. I'm not. My vocabulary is not super big, so they, when it comes to lyrics, they kind of text among themselves what time they're going to meet up, and they delete me off the text. Meanwhile, I had guitar solos to do anyways.
And what I do with lyrics is not good anyway. I was in there, but I always
did a lot.
But I make stupid, funny ones. I change lyrics to like my previous bands. I change the lyrics to all the time, and then the writers are looking at me like, "Why are you butchering my songs?" Because it's fun. If I can.
He did. He came up with all kinds of very key parts when those guys were stuck, and then Deen would come in and say, and be like, "Yeah, that's cool," and he's like, "Okay, cool. Got my name on the song."
Yeah, there's my dollar.
It's still the way the thing with the Dead Daisies is cool is we just. And people wonder, like, when you write a song, how do you get paid and all that stuff. We don't think about that stuff. We just say we split everything. We don't care. We're all invested in the song. We all make it happen. The way that he plays drums is just as important as the way John sings.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
So.
Maybe more.
Yeah,
important.
I think so. Drums definitely. It's all about me.
But Dead and Gone is the single that's out right now, and we did a video for it in, where was that?
Germany, Berlin, at Rammstein Studios, Black Box.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
And we did a live video with a lot of extra production and flames and smoke bombs,
Fire
and
and bombs and stuff.
And it was a long day. We were there filming that thing all day long. And then our management, David Edwards, had the idea to incorporate this. It's almost like for me, it reminds me of like a Michael Jackson Thriller kind of thing, which is brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, very
Zombies and blood and stuff, all done in taste, but it really kind of goes with the Dead and Gone concept.
Their concept, management's concept was they wanted it to be like that series Stranger Things. You guys have seen that?
Yes.
And how they have the upside down. So you see the drums playing, and all of a sudden I'm upside down, and I'm playing, and everybody's kind of turning and bending and stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of work that day. It was a 9 or 10 hour day, but it was
a long day. We it would have normally been a day off, but we played that night before, and then we worked all day until probably midnight or something. But it turned out really good, and hope you guys dig it. If you get a chance, you can see it on deaddaisies.com or on YouTube. Or
give it these. Give it a lot of these.
Yes.
We need these.
And a lot of shares.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, folks. Deen Castronovo.
And Doug Aldrich.
We're the Dead Daisies. Yep. We're going to sing a song here. It's our new single right now and new video on the Dead Daisies YouTube channel. This is called Dead and Gone. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We had fun. Ooh, ain't a man to cast a stone, brother, I believe. To everyone each his own. Now I ain't here to preach. People come and people go. Somehow I'm born to lose. But I just want to live my life and live the way I choose. Let the devil be my witness to everything I've done. Cause it ain't nobody's business, and I'm not the only one. Let me hear you say, yeah, yeah, come on now, yeah, yeah. So fire it up and turn me on till I'm dead and gone, yeah. yeah, come on now, yeah, yeah. So fire it up and turn me on till I'm dead and gone, yeah.
The next track is Can't Take It With You. And that is something that we hear all the time. You can't take it with you when you're gone. So that was the immediate vibe I had when I was reading the title. So tell me about this song, and am I even close to correct?
Oh, man.
Well, that's...
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. If you're listening to it, it talks about excess, whatever, whatever John was kind of going in, the direction was, it's like, have fun while you're here, enjoy life while you can, because you can't take it with you, so, but you're thinking about it, and I'm thinking rock star, penthouse on the 99th floor, and, all the champagne and all that, and parties, and it's like, yeah, it's like, back in the 70s and 80s, the excessive rock star vibe, that's kind of where that's the vibe I get off of that.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that says it all. I love the staccato guitar part on that. We had something like that on the last record, and John was just picked up the guitar and started doing that riff, and it was like, I said, we got to work on that. That's really cool. And then we rounded out the music, and that's my, as far as the rock tracks go, that's my favorite rock track, because it really just kicks ass, and the chorus is really catchy, but in a heavy way. That to me is like classic Karabi. That chorus is really, you can't take it with you,
but you can have it all before you go. That just happened.
We're at my favorite track, Leave Me Alone. I love the lyrics. This is such a fun song for me.
We have a good story for that one.
Okay, I want to hear it because I made up my own.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us what you think it is? I think that'd be cool.
No.
You tell us what you feel it is, and then we'll tell you what we feel it is.
I divorced what I felt it was, but that's okay.
Well,
that's it, right there.
Musically, that was a David Lowy track. He brought several riffs, and that was one that he was working on that riff. We'd come in the studio, and he'd just sit down. He wouldn't talk to anybody, and immediately play that riff. And basically, he played it so many times that it just started sticking in our head, and it was like, okay, we're gonna have to do something with that, because it's obviously he digs it, and I can't forget it now. It's in my head, and we kind of figured out it was out of time. It wasn't in 4. What's it in? 1, 2.
Oh gosh, you're talking to the wrong guy there.
6, 7. I think it's
7.
7 or not. Yes, maybe
something like that.
Let's just say 7/4. Let's say it's in the time of 7/4. But then, doing the whole song like that, and then we would get to the chorus and we'd straighten it out into 4/4 time, and Leave Me Alone part. But still, the verses would when you're doing that, you're on the beat like this, and then you're on the back beat, and it's just a little bit weird. So we decided to try to talk to David to see if he'd be cool with us just doing the intro and the outro in the out of time, and the re-intro in the 7/4 bit, and then straighten out the rest of it. Because we wanted the song to be accessible. I mean, you like it. A lot of people, it's their favorite track.
It's my favorite.
So in order for that to happen, people need to be able to catch the groove. So it worked out. But we spent a lot of time, and then we didn't know, like I was trying to find an overdub guitar part for the intro, and then I tried some feedback, and I tried some harmonies, and I tried some things, and nothing was really working. And then Marty chopped it up, and he put the feedback and the harmony together.
Nice.
And that's...
And you're playing slide on that too in the beginning, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I tried everything.
Yeah, I love that stuff. No, that's great.
That song was our... that was like our nemesis. We were struggling with that track, and it almost didn't make the record because we couldn't get it together. Yeah. We really were stuck.
And at first it was called Throw Me a Bone. It wasn't Leave Me Alone. We were working with the Throw Me a Bone title, and it just wasn't clicking. And then I don't know if maybe it was John that said, "Oh, what about Leave Me Alone?" And boom, lyrics started just pouring out, which is really great.
So what do you think it's about?
Yeah, tell us.
Well, I just imagined relationship gone really wrong, and you're just done. and like I was, and so I really related to it on a very personal level. And
Cool.
And you were cranking it like
Oh,
every day, right?
absolutely
I
love
know.
it.
It's like an adrenaline rush. It's like, yeah, leave me alone. Yeah,
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely.
Excellent.
We're at the bonus track now, so some lucky fans actually got a bonus track with this CD. So tell me about Revolution and what prompted this one.
Well, that one I wrote with John Lennon back when I was 2. No, I'm sorry, I had to go there. I did one of those. Well, that was one that I think we all kind of, I mean, it's a no-brainer again. That's a great song, but we definitely had to, like Doug says, we had to daisify it. We had to, put our stamp on it. And once we had the kind of the rough draft of it, Doug started putting the color into it with his guitar, and that's I think what kind of sells that tune is your guitar on that, because in my opinion, because it's not just like what the Beatles did. He definitely brings this raw, heavy vibe to that song, and that's what made it soar, in my opinion.
I think John Lennon would probably say, well, I think it's my melody that does that. Deen.
Yeah, well, he's right. John Lennon is right. That's why I'm a drummer.
I think it was my chords, I can't do a John Lennon.
I can't
How's
either.
it sound? But anyway, Yoko, come here. No, I can't do it. I'm always doing David Coverdale. That's my thing.
Well, you were with him 12 years, man. It's hard not to.
But that Revolution was another one we were fighting with. We didn't know we wanted it to be heavy and give it our spin. We didn't really know how to approach it, so we tried it with different grooves. Remember?
Yeah. At first, it was a shuffle, and then Marty goes, "It's not feeling right. What about just 2 and 4?" And that was just like, okay, it's breathing now. It's breathing. It's like gung, 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 gung. I was able to open it up and let it
then
breathe.
with that, with eighth notes, or eighth notes, triplets, whatever it is.
And you still got that.
It kind of started to open up, and then the chords. It was really cool in the chorus. I forget how the lyric goes. I'm sorry, but in the chorus, it does the thing, and it does this chord that is an Aerosmith chord from Walk This Way that I never knew. That's where I think that maybe where they got it was from Revolution. Revolution. How's it go? All right.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
But it's
Anyway.
rad. It's all good, and you guys need to listen.
It turned out to be a cool track, but we just felt like we wanted to save that as something special and make it a bonus.
All right, it's been so much fun talking to you guys about each individual track. Thank you so much. But were there any fun, memorable moments behind the scenes that you haven't shared with us?
Want to start, Doug?
There was none.
None.
None more.
None. No
None more.
memorable
None
moments.
more. No, we always have fun. We're always laughing. We're all really good friends. We've known each other for years, and but when we were in the studio, we were really focused. I mean, we the funny things happen mostly on the road when you're in the middle of a crazy travel day or something. Yeah. But
like yesterday.
Yeah, but there would be funny things that happen in the studio. And there would be things that happen at the hotel sometimes, but the best thing would be like if we did have a little time off, we'd maybe go to the bar and hang out and watch some football or something and just blow off steam,
Absolutely.
Well, I think for me, just the whole thing, because I joined the band as they, like I said, it was just starting. This new record was just starting. So for me, it was all really, really surreal because I had been off for 3 years. So coming in and playing and then feeling the chemistry and the vibe and the positivity in the band, I felt like I fit in real well. So the whole thing for me is extremely memorable. I mean, it's just amazing. And getting the drum tracks done. I think we got the drum tracks done in 3 or 4 days because we were so focused. It was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And
we're into it.
Yeah.
When you're into it, you don't want to go home.
Yeah.
Right. We'd come in at 10 or 11 in the morning, and we'd leave at 8 or 9 at night, and we tried to rest and stay focused. That was something that's really good about for me personally coming to Nashville, is that away from home, we were in a situation where there was very little distractions.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we could really focus and keep rested and come in and kick ass every day. And So that's what we did, and that's why then there's no reason for us to slave over something. You know, if it's working, let's cut it. If it's not working, we'll cut it out.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, for all of us.
Creatively, definitely.
It was a lot of fun.
I just wanna live my life, live the way I choose. Let the devil be my witness to everything I've done. 'Cause it ain't nobody's business, and I'm not the only one. Let me hear you say, yeah, yeah. Come on, yeah, yeah. So fire it up and turn me on until I'm dead and gone.
Thank you, everybody, so much for taking the time out of your day to watch another episode of Track by Track, featuring Deen Castronovo and Doug Aldrich of the Dead Daisies.
Yes!
And if you don't have your copy of the Dead Daisies, burn it to the ground. No?
Burn it down! Another good one! Keep it!
You know what? We're keeping it. You guys, this title is just, you gotta have it. It's Burn It Down. You gotta get it. Go over to their website. And if you are one of the lucky first 50 people that go to one of their shows, you can get a wristband for a free meet and greet. So you guys gotta take advantage of that. And then you can get your CD autographed. And until next time, guys, stay tuned for more. We'll see you soon. And special thanks to Dark Horse Recording for letting us have this studio time today with the guys. We appreciate it. Until next time, see you soon.
Thanks to Dark Horse, we really appreciate it. Now let's get some bills paid. Okay, we're hanging with
Whiskey Kate?
Party Like a Rockstar, whiskeycate.com.
www.whiskeycate.com.
That's one bill we have to pay. Apple. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We love you.
We love your stuff. Jade Soto, thank you.
Jade.
Thank you, Jade, for bringing us
Jade
here.
Jade Soto is one of our big sponsors.
Yeah, big fan.
And by the
big friend of
way,
ours.
we do also promote Beat headphones. So
and
thank you guys, and keep sending them.
Thanks to Steve's Music.
Steve's Music.
Because the shirt was clean.
Sure, microphones are the best.
Yes, they are. Really cool rings and bracelets.
King Baby. Yeah, King Baby loves us. We love King Baby
Yes,
too.
we do.
Thank you for all the free jewelry you've sent us.
I love it.
And I think that covers it, right? Coffee Mate.
Coffee Mate, non-dairy creamer.
Hazelnut creamer.
Oh yes,
Coffee Mate.
hazelnut or
Thank you for
sweet
powering
Italian cream.
Missy.
One of my favorites.